Hello my dear friends and welcome to Lokalama YouTube channel. This channel is about knitting, about spinning, and about all fiber related art. And I'm so pleased to see you again. You didn't see me on this channel for a while, but if I wasn't posting videos, it doesn't mean that I stopped knitting. I was actually knitting a lot, but it was end of summer and me and kids wanted to do a lot of things together. For example, we went to the zoo, we went to fair, we went to the beach many times, we were visiting outside pools, and also we visited doll museum, actually the biggest doll museum in Canada, even though it's private, but it was a lot of fun. And of course I will show you all our trips here, but it will not be in this video, but I'll slowly over time show it to you. But today I will still show you one trip that I took to Winnipeg, Manitoba, Canada. It was a Fibre festival, and I know this one would be the most interesting and the most exciting for us knitters, but it would be more towards the end. Also because I didn't see you for so long and I had so many finished objects over this time, so I decided to dedicate this podcast today just for my finished objects. So I will talk about my finished objects, and then we will talk about Fibre Festival, and I'll show you everything I bought there, because you cannot go to Fibre Festival without buying some souvenirs and some pretty interesting yarns. So, and now when we are in September, kids went to school, and this year actually very unusual for me because my youngest child went to school. So I'll just remind you, maybe someone is new. I have 5 kids, but my oldest, she's 21, and then I have 19-year-old, then I have son who is 9, and then 2 girls, 7 and 4 years old. And my 4-year-old went to school, to kindergarten. Actually in a few days she will be turning 5. So, and it's so cute to see her. She is like so small, but she's like, you know, carrying her big backpack, and her face, she's trying to be so grown up, so mature, and it just looks so cute. First weeks were kind of hard because full days, like she goes full days every day, and she looked pretty tired. But now I feel like all kids are adjusting, and I finished all my, like, you know, appointments and paperwork that I had saved up during summer when I couldn't do it without kids. So I'm done with all of that, and now I feel like I'm going into routine. Still emotional, it's a bit hard to adjust because I was stay-at-home mom. I was working here and there a little bit, but it wasn't like full-time working and being without kids for like whole day. So now I'm just into that and feel like, oh wow, I have so much free time on my hands. It just feels very unusual, like because in 22 years basically I never had that time. So, but it's easy to adjust to like having more time instead of less time, right? So let's get into my finished objects and talk about them. first finished object that I would like to talk about, it's actually from this 100% alpaca yarn that I just got on a Fibre festival. You will see all the yarns I got in the end of this video, but in the beginning of the video, when I'm sharing about my finished objects, I'll show it to you. It's 100% alpaca chunky. It's 100 meters per 100 grams. And this yarn has very interesting spun. I would like to insert video just to show you how it looked before it was knitted. So now you saw how unusual this yarn is, but look at the result. Look at this beautiful fabric it created. You know, I saw this type of spun yarn like on festivals before, but I was kind of cautious. I was kind of afraid to purchase it because I didn't know how it would be in a fabric, but this one I got because it was on sale, so I thought, okay, instead of $20 I can pay 12 and just try it out. So sadly I got only one skein, and I decided to knit a neck warmer for myself, because now when my kids at school, I love to take longer walks, and now while it's still warm, it's okay, but we are in Manitoba, so it gets pretty cold here, -40, and winters are long, and I have a warm alpaca hat, but I didn't have warm neck warmer, so I decided to use this skein for this. And here you see 100 grams, 100 meters in this neck warmer, and I decided to do ribbing on top, 2 by 2, and on the bottom 1 by 1, because I wasn't sure if I would wear this 1 by 1 up or 2 by 2. So we'll see how it wears, and I'm not sure if the width is good, right? So I will, when it cools down, I will start wearing it, and then I can decide if it's wide enough or should it be narrower. So we'll see. I'm super excited. It's very, very soft, absolutely not pokey. And I was knitting this on needles, 7mm needle. So it gave me pretty good size. Very happy and pleased. So that's my first finished object. The next thing I did, even though it was warm outside, and I decided to dive into knitting hats. I don't know why, but I just felt like maybe it's like autumn cleaning. So a while back, many years ago, I usually participated in craft sales. So when I used to live in Steinbeck, I participated there. And when I moved to Brandon, I was participating here. But then I kind of found out that once I opened my online stores for knitting items, I figured out that it's more profitable for me to sell online instead of selling in person. And also online, it feels like people are ready to pay more, or you can pick best customers, right, from all over the world. And when you come to craft sale, you just basically get local people, right? And most of the time I also notice that like in our smaller city, it's kind of basically same people who come to craft sales. So how many hats do they need, right? So, and I had also a lot of these headbands that I was selling, and they were selling pretty good on farmers markets or local craft markets, but they weren't selling very well online. And especially these bright nyan ones, I think maybe my mistake was that I did them 2-color ones. Maybe if I would make them 1 color, right, just nyan yellow or nyan pink, maybe that would be better. But anyway, I decided to take all of these headbands and turn them into hats. So I just have 1 or 2 left of those brighter ones. So, and then I decided to knit hats, just ribbing 2 by 2 simple rapid decrease there on top, and I will insert picture of all the colors I knitted. So there turned out to be a few of each color. And I have a local hairdressing salon where I can put my hats and headbands like in a physical store. So I put all of those in my store, but also I took pictures of them and I put them online. We'll see. I know that this year those 9 colors are more in style, so we'll see if they will find their homes. But if they don't, I still can gift them, my kids can wear them. So once they are like in a good finished object, they can find their owners very easily. So, and each of these hats, like, they're knitted from 100% acrylic yarn, and they are each of them 65 grams. And I knitted, I don't know, like 8 of them or something like that, 8 or 9. And then after I was done with 9 colors, I decided to move on and see what other headbands I have and what else I can redo to put them in my online store or gifts or whatever is possible. So I had this beautiful tweedy yarn. It was just a ball of yarn, and it didn't look very nice in a ball. That's why this yarn was lying down for longest time in my stash, because it was kind of like one strand spun worsted yarn. It had 30% of wool, only 30% of wool, and then viscose and acrylic, but it feels kind of a little bit rough, and I think some people might find it itchy. So I decided that I should take that ball and do something with it. So, but I also had some headbands in this beautiful blue color, and I decided, why don't I do this hat like double folded brim and just knit inside from blue acrylic, which would be nice and not itchy, and just it goes a little bit outside to brighten up some of the blue tweedy spots and this yarn. And when I was done with this hat, it actually looks so beautiful, and my son absolutely loved this hat. So this hat will stay and be his. It will not go to my shop because he loved it so much. And this hat weighs 89 grams. And then after that, I knitted few more. I will insert pictures. So I had this beautiful white and red headbands, and I decided to turn it into, like, now it looks like a Christmassy hat, almost like a Santa hat. So I made this hat, and then I also had like purple and yellow yarn. Purple yarn is easy to use for hat, like, because it's more favorite color for people, but the yellow color, I wasn't sure in which object to use, but then I remembered that kind of Halloween-y colors would be that yellow, purple, and black. So I knitted 2 Halloween hats, and I attached black pom-poms, and I really loved the result. I really loved that combination. They are also 89 grams each, 89 grams each. And I cannot show them to you because they're also in my physical store. So hopefully they find their owners. Next big session that I would like to talk about, also about smaller objects. For the longest time, I had a dream to knit Angora baby socks, and in my online store people buy a lot of Angora socks for adults, but I never offered baby socks in there. So I decided to follow my dream and just take time and knit this cute little collection of baby Angora socks. Look at them. They are so small, they're so cute, and I decided to choose 4 natural colors and knit them 4 pairs in same size, because it gives me so much better pictures when all socks are same size, but people can order different sizes. This particular socks, look, they're so small. They are from 0 to 3 months old babies, and look, they're so soft, so fluffy. I just can't imagine baby's foot to be in here snug. So this one is a light gray color, and each of them weigh only from 16 to 18 grams, depends on the yarn. So these cute ones, light gray. These ones are white. Aren't they awesome? They're just so cute and awesome. Sometimes I just take them out and play with them. And this one's dark gray. I wanted to knit yet black ones, but there's no point because you can't really see them on a picture. And this coffee cream color, light brown. So cute. So I knitted that collection, but also I wanted to offer kind of brighter baby colors, not like very bright nine, but still kind of pastel colors. So, and I decided to knit a second collection of socks, but this one from 3 months to 6 months. So see, they're like already a bit bigger. So, and I will insert you colors in which I will knit this collection, and also I'm knitting them all in same size, just for the sake of a beautiful picture, and because I didn't want to knit same size, I wanted to try out, calculate bigger size. That's why this collection will be knitted in 3 to 6 sizes, but of course people can order any color, any size. So mint ones are done. They're so cute. They're about 20-22 grams. And then I'll knit like light like blue with a little bit purple color, and then pink, peachy color, and yellow. I think they will be so awesome. Maybe I'll find 5th color, but we shall see. But those are baby colors. I think like they're just so adorable. It makes me smile just because I was dreaming about it for so long and never took time to do it. But then actually when I started to do that, like it just they knit up so fast and so wonderful, and I don't know, I'm just super happy about that. Next pair of socks were for me and also from very special yarn, and I would like to insert a small video about this yarn. So these socks, they weigh 82 grams, and I knitted them out my hand spun yarn. So my friend, she gifted me wool with nylon, the rainbow one, rainbow sparkles here, that's nylon. And she purchased this yarn from England actually, and then she gifted it to me on my birthday. I spun this yarn pretty fast, and I knew it's a sock yarn, but it was so beautiful. I invested so much time in this yarn that I just didn't want to put it in a socks. So I was trying to put it in shawl, I was trying to put it in sweater, you probably remember that. I was trying to put it in another design shawl, but it just didn't work. And then I thought, like, you know what? Winter is coming, I need thicker socks, because this one I knitted on 3.5mm needle, and I just took 1.5 days and I knitted this pair, and I'm so happy and so pleased. So first I knitted first sock and I made it shorter because I wasn't sure how much yarn I have, but when I finished first sock and I realized that I have more than half yarn left, so I started to knit second sock longer cuff. I finished second sock and then I opened first sock and I reknitted it. So, but still I had a little bit yarn left, but I didn't want to reknit it again. So 82 grams, beautiful socks, and I'm really looking forward for weather to cool down and see how they wear, because it will be my first pair of socks that are knitted from my hand spun yarn. I'm pretty proud of them. So let's move on. Then who was here before in my previous videos, you probably knew that I was really wanted to try opal sock yarn, but because I live in Canada, we have opal yarn here, but it's like very overpriced, or like I understand because it needs to come from Germany and shipping cost and everything, so it's quite expensive. But my sister was in Germany this past couple months, and I thought, like, why don't I order opal yarn in Germany and have it shipped to her house in Germany, and then when she comes to Canada she will bring it to me, and then I would be able to try it. So I ordered 5 different balls of opal yarn, and one of them I gifted already away, so I have 4 left, but one ball came without tag, and I'll insert picture how that colorway looked like. Sadly, I don't know exact colorway, but I was trying to Google it, and I think it's a Crazy Waters colorway. I'm not sure, but it's a very, very beautiful color. Look how beautiful they look. And I usually knit my socks on 2.5mm needles, and I cast on 56 stitches because I have quite narrow foot. And this pair of socks, they weigh 65 grams, so I still have some yarn left, and you can see they're quite long, but I made them longer because I wanted that blue color to be on the heels. That's why they're so long. If I would be started like here, for example, then I could have done shorter socks, but I thought I need longer socks because I have some socks are very long, some are much shorter, so these ones will be perfect. And so I finished them pretty quick because it was so much fun to knit with color changing. Also, after washing, right away yarn fluffed up, so it's quite nice, soft and fluffy. I don't know, I like it very much, so we'll see how journey continues with me and opal yarns, because if I like it very much, I think I might order more and knit more because of the fun colorways, and I'm also curious to see how it will wear, because I heard a lot of good reviews about this sock yarn, and I think like most of the sock yarns wear pretty well, only some of them peel a lot, but I don't expect it from opal yarns. So my first opal yarn socks for myself in this beautiful colorway. I will not talk about project works in progress today, but I'll give you a hint. I started another pair and it's almost done, also out of opal yarn. Like, I'm just so excited. I think opal yarn will be knitted up first, just because I wanted to knit out of it for so many years, and I just hope it works out and I knit up all the balls that I bought. And also from leftovers I'm hoping to knit socks for my kids. Hope they will enjoy it very much. Also, I have here 2 pairs of socks. It's totally different journey, but it is a journey. So as you know, I was knitting quite a bit socks from Angora wool for my shop, and this time wasn't an exception. A lot of socks I knitted. I will not show them to you today because I knitted them and they went to their new homes, to their new owners, and I hope people enjoy them very much. And yeah, I didn't even take pictures of all of them because, like, you know, when you need to order, it's most of the time you knit it, you wet block it, and you're so happy and proud of yourself that you are done. You just package it up and mail it. So, but I always had this idea because I usually hold 2 strands of Angora yarn and 2 nylon strands together, but I always had this thought, what if I hold 1 strand of Angora, 2 strands of nylon very thin thread, and 1 strand of a regular sock yarn. I was thinking about it, but I never actually kind of like started to do it, like try it out. So these 2 pairs of socks are first. And what happened with these 2 pairs of socks? So I had 2 pairs of socks. One was zebra colorway here, and one was just beautiful sectional yarn, kind of like opal. But here you can't really see all the sections because now it's kind of all blended in. So, and those socks, they were good, but I was wearing them for maybe 5 years, and they started to thin out a little bit on the heel. So I thought, why don't I unravel it? Because the rest of the yarn hold on like very, very nicely. So I unraveled those 2 pairs of socks, and I just threw away those pieces that were on the heel or on the toes. So I just cut those out, and I just had those balls of yarn. So I decided this season, why don't I use that sock yarn from my previous socks and just add Angora strand and see a nylon strands and see how fabric turns out. And it would be a good experiment, and then if it turns out pretty and nice, then in the future I just can use regular sock yarn. And especially like when you have 100-gram ball of yarn and then you use like 60 or 70 grams for a pair of socks, and then you have just basically 40 grams left or less, so it's kind of not enough for adult sock. But if you use it for something like this and knit it like on 3.5mm needles, then you need less meterage of yarn. So I did that. I knitted like size 8, and even though I cut out some pieces of yarn, I still had leftover balls after finishing this, and they turned out so beautiful. I don't know, both of them, would you say that they look gorgeous? They look very, very good. So I'm curious to see how they would wear. They feel very warm, very nice, very beautiful. So I'm very pleased. Again, I'm so pleased with the result. And each pair of these socks, they weigh actually 92 grams. My next section would be a beautiful summer top that I finished. As you remember in last video, I started this beautiful top. It was knitted out of cotton viscose acrylic yarn, and it has very interesting texture to it. And it weighed only 202 grams. As you remember, I had 4 balls of yarn, each of them was 50 grams, and a little bit like half a ball yet left. And this yarn is made in Spain. So I finished this t-shirt, I would say summer tee. I was wearing it already quite a bit, and I think I'll wear it like through the season, because I feel like this top looks very good with cardigans. Same like here, I have summer top and I wear it with cardigan. and I like it how it looks, knitted top with knitted cardigan. So I'll do same with this one. And I don't know what else to say, just let's go and see how it looks on me. Finished object is this cardigan that I knitted for my 4-year-old daughter. So my 4-year-old daughter and she's almost 5, and my 7-year-old daughter, they basically wear same size of clothes. They have a little bit difference in the height, but very close. So they have a closet for both of them, and all of their clothes is together. So this cardigan, it took me a while to knit. So I used like one strand of Angora wool. I used one strand of this color changing acrylic yarn with Stelina, which was like in 100 grams. It was 800 meters, so it's basically like lace weight acrylic yarn. And then I used yarn from her old also yellow cardigan, which was small on her, and there was also one merino strand with Stelina and one Angora wool strand. So, and because that cardigan was too small on her, but I used a bigger needle and added a little bit more fresher yarn to this cardigan, that yarn which was enough for this gorgeous cardigan. And this cardigan, this cardigan weighs 388 grams. And now let's go and see how it looks on her. section of this video will take over by these big Afghans. So often on Pinterest and different Instagram, internet, I could see a lot of these beautiful merino wool chunky blankets, and sometimes they're knitted out of acrylic yarn as well, and I really love them, how they look cozy and squishy, but I never saw how you can use them in everyday life, especially with kids and stuff. But I loved that kind of chunky look they had, so I decided to try it out to knit blankets like Afghans like that, but on a chunkier needle but with a thinner yarn. So in this first Afghan that I knitted, I will insert a short video about yarns, which ones I used in this brown. Today I'm planning to start knitting brown Afghan. I would like to use 10mm Chiagu needles that I recently purchased, and they have such a nice cord and a very smooth needle, so I hope they'll work great. I have two skeins of this gorgeous yarn. Here's a mohair yarn with some gray hair in it, and the rest is acrylic yarn. It's quite thick yarn. I would say DK weight, maybe a little bit thicker. And also I have this cone yarn. It's wool and 6% cashmere, and it has sections. So I would like to combine those two yarns and knit a very chunky, bigger size Afghan. So I took those two yarns and I knitted this Afghan, and I also did these fringes here because it looks kind of nicer and cozier. So in this Afghan weighed 700 grams, so it's not bad for an Afghan, which is like 150 centimeters long and 120 centimeters wide. So it's quite good size, and for 700 grams it's quite nice too. And I was using this, like testing this Afghan already, and I find it like very warm and very comfortable, even though it has, like, you know, this bigger texture. And because you cannot really see it here, I would like also insert a video how it looks like in its full beauty.
Okay.
After I was done with brown blanket, I thought I should knit something lighter, in lighter color. So I went through my stash and I found three different yarns which I thought would be a perfect combination for my next afghan. And I also would like to insert a short video where I show you yarns which I used to knit this beautiful afghan. In my stash I found this beautiful cone of yarn. Here we have 50% mohair yarn and 50% premium acrylic. So, and I think this cone is enough for a blanket. Also I had this Chinese mohair which I thought was a mohair with wool, but actually it was imitation of mohair and imitation of wool, so it's basically acrylic. And also I found this kind of 3D chain yarn which has some cotton, alpaca, and some polyamide as well. So I decided to combine these three yarns in hopes that it will give me a wonderful afghan. So I decided to combine those three yarns, and it also gave me this beautiful light-weighted afghan. And because of this one yarn had kind of 3D effect, then it looks even kind of interesting. Like, you know, fabric looks very interesting. And this afghan was weighing only 650 grams. So it's also pretty good for a big afghan, warm afghan, to weigh 650 grams. It's also pretty good. So, and it's very nice and comfortable to use with kids when they're playing, because they just basically stay the same. And this little halo this afghan has, I don't know, it just makes me so happy, squishy and happy. And now I also would like to insert a short video that you could see how this afghan looks in full beauty. After I knitted those two afghans, I thought, like, you know, they look so nice, they're so comfortable to use in everyday life. And I thought, and also they're quite quick to knit because you knit them on 10mm needle, and it's only 80 stitches wide. So then I decided that, like, if I want to put something like that in my shop, I need to, like, you know, more colors, like light color and darker color are great. And then I decided to use this beautiful color together, and I'll show you, insert you pictures of a yarn that I used. So one yarn was just like a kind of like a Icelandic Azatex yarn, just not spun yarn, and I had this bright purple color. It's like but this yarn that is not spun, made in Canada, so it's Canadian brand. I decided to use one strand of it because I had it. Also I had two sparkly purple yarns. One was Angora Simli from Alize, and that one has some mohair, wool. I will insert picture what it has, and also some saddle sparkle in purple. And also I had one from Lion brand. It's mostly cotton with some mohair, and some acrylic yarn which changes color, so it goes kind of in sections. And also I had one mohair yarn which had this like darker gray kind of colorway. I don't think I have picture of that yarn because I used it up all in here. So, and it gave me a very beautiful heavier blanket. It is heavier because of the one strand unspun yarn, but it also gives it like such a beautiful texture. Like, you know, that's why I was trying to knit, like, you know, different colors using different yarn combinations, because in the end I wanted to figure out, like, you know, the best outcome, the best product, the comfiest product that it would give me. And this one quite thick, it weighs 800 grams, but I think that this combination I could have knit like maybe on size 12mm needles, but I don't mind it. It's quite nice. It's done, but the only thing I need to add some fringes and hide this tail, and this one will be done also. It's very, very beautiful, as you can see. Very nice fabric, a little bit sparkles, but I feel like, you know, something like that would be great, like closer to Christmas. And I know I promised you not to show you any works in progress in this video, but please allow me to show you just one. And it's my next afghan that I'm knitting with totally different yarn combinations. And let's go, I'll insert you a short video of yarns that I was inspired to knit afghan so much that I decided to choose another color combo for my new afghan. I had this yarn named Tiffany. Here you can see 55 meters in 40 grams, and it has 30% of mohair, 30% of wool, 30% of acrylic, and 6% of viscose. It's very gorgeous, interesting yarn. It's fluffy, but it also has like this kind of knots all over it. So, and I didn't have anything in my stash to combine with it, so I went to Michael's and I bought this Wool Is 100% wool from Lion Brands. It's like a one strand spun wool, but it's kind of soft wool. It's not scratchy or itchy, and very beautiful color. And you see it in 140 grams we have 273 meters. So I got 3 skeins of this pink like kind of dusty rose pink wool, and also I got 2 balls of this yarn. This one is mostly acrylic and has, I think, 3% wool. It's also chain and also has a little bit tweedy effect, so has a tweed chain, and I really liked it. And I got 2 balls because it has it's heavier, right? It has more meterage, so that's why I decided to take 2 balls. And also I can always go and purchase more balls, more yarn if I need to, but I didn't want to overspend if I wouldn't use it. So these 3 yarns that I decided to use for my next afghan. So you saw yarns that I'm using, and here is the result. That's the afghan that I'm knitting. Look at that. So beautiful, with this viscose yarn with little loops, and one strand of 100% wool, which is not spun, or like it's spun just like one twist, like very light twist, and with adding some chained acrylic yarn, which just to helps it to keep texture, because with afghans you need to have texture. You need it to hold shape a little bit. Mohair and wool just adds a little bit halo to this. And I don't know, I think this like kind of peach colorway, it's just so beautiful, so gorgeous. I can't even wait to finish it. I hope next time we see each other it would be already a finished object, because it's just so soft and squishy. I don't know, I really love this yarn combination. So eventually I want to find out the best yarn combo, and also yarn combos that I could easily purchase at the store, so that I could offer just knit one, right, and then offer that people can pre-order and have it shipped to them, made and shipped for them specifically. And now I think we are ready to go to Fibre Festival because I'm done with all my finished objects. Hopefully I remembered all of them, the ones that I knitted, but I hope I will be here more often, more regularly. Then it would be easier to remember, like, you know, all my finished objects and all the works in progress and all the details about them to share with you. And now let's go take a trip to Fibre Festival, and I will insert the videos that I pre-recorded for it, and in the end we will talk a little bit about it. And now we are coming closer and closer to Fibre Festival, and I'm running inside, super excited to see everything what's in there. And here you can see a woman, she's spinning raw linen and she's making it for her garment. So this year, first time on a Fibre Festival, there were Angora bunnies, and here you can see bunny fleece. It wasn't for sale, but it was just to show us. And also here you can see raw linen, green and yellow, and also how it's usually worked on. And we had a chance and opportunity to touch it. So let's talk now about all my yarn inquiries that I purchased at the Fibre Festival. First of all, these two black skeins, they are 100% local alpaca. It's 2-ply yarn, 90 grams, 259 meters. So this yarn, two skeins, I bought for my oldest daughter because she wanted to knit a black shawl. Also, I bought these two skeins of alpaca yarn. They were on sale, and I thought that my daughter might want to knit something out of that too. And this last skein, you saw already finished object out of it. I bought it like for $12. It was also on sale, and I wanted to check out and try this yarn, which now I can say I loved it, and I feel a bit sorry that I didn't get more. But this yarn is super wonderful. So these 5 skeins are from local alpacas. And here you can see brighter skeins. So all these 4 skeins were also on sale, and they all were $15, so it's kind of like 50% off. This green skein, it's merino wool with nylon, and color is just so stunning. I couldn't leave it there, so I took it just because for the color, and it's just beautiful. And I don't think I'll need socks out of it, but maybe a hat. Next skein here, it's also sock yarn, but the main wool here it's BFL and 20% nylon, and it's in 100 grams, 365 meters. I really wanted to try BFL. So even though colorway is kind of light, it has white and basically a little bit blue, but I have colors, so I can put some speckles on it. And next lot, it's 2 kid silk kid mohair on silk yarns, colorway cotton candy. They are slightly different colorways, but very close to each other. And I got these 2 skeins because I'm planning to add maybe white strand to it and knit a sweater or something. Very pleased with this purchase, and especially price. And next, my dream was to try knitting for Olive because it's very advertised now on social media everywhere, and my favorite designer Sari Nordland knits a lot from this pure silk knitting for Olive yarn, and I really wanted to try it. So when I saw it at the Fibre Festival, it was must to buy. I just had to choose colors because there are quite a bit beautiful colors of this yarn. So I decided to take this green and knit myself top out of it. And this yarn, I was specifically looking for it because I took 1 mini skein and 1 full skein of this yarn. This yarn has reflective paint, so when blue light goes on it, it shines very beautifully. And I really wanted black skein with some bright colors, and by the time I got there was only 1 left, so I grabbed it, and I am more than pleased to have it. So we'll see what will happen with this yarn, but I'm sure it will not be socks. Most likely it would be shawl. But it's like very, very beautiful, and it was actually a man who was dyeing this yarn. Next, I got 2 spindles, also from Fibre Festival, and when I was purchasing them, I wasn't sure about materials that they used for this spindle, but it actually recycled plastic, so they melt like milk jugs and other plastic, and then they make these beautiful spindles. So I purchased 2 of them for myself, but I didn't spin any fleece yet on it. So once I try it, I will know if I like this texture and shape or not, but they looked very cute. So I'm very pleased that I grabbed 2 last ones. And here in this bag, surprise, surprise, I was able to buy some fleece from Angora bunnies. It wasn't for sale, but because I was kind of by the end of the day, I asked them if they would sell me 1 bag of this fleece just for me to try. Probably I'll need to brush it. I'll need to maybe brush it together with merino wool or something. I'm not sure yet, but I'm so glad I bought it, and now I'll have it until I will buy brushes or some combs for wool, and then I can brush it and spin it. But it's just so soft. You can't imagine how soft it is and how beautiful it is. I can't wait to work with this fleece. It's actually first raw fleece that I ever bought in my life. So we'll see how it will turn out. That's all that I purchased at the Fibre Festival, and I'm very pleased with my purchases. I hope you enjoyed this trip to Fibre Festival. I know I didn't record it as much as I wanted to because it was so interesting, and I went there with my friend, and we just wanted to look at everything. and talk and touch all the fabrics. But I hope you like my yarn inquiries, and I'm very curious what I will need out of all of it. Like one skein already is a finished object. But also I was really looking for combs for wool, to brush wool, but then I couldn't find it there. But then I saw one lady who was actually combing her wool, and she advised me to buy this set of combs with, which comes from a company Valkyrie. She told me they're quite expensive, but they last for generations. So I ordered those already, and they're on their way. Maybe they'll even arrive today or tomorrow, and then once they come, and I will show you how they work, because I have a lot of wool fleece from our dog, and I really want to brush it together with some sheep wool and spin it, and eventually make a nice afghan for my daughter, because it's her dog, and I think it would be like she would like to have afghan and to cover herself with the warmth of her favorite pet. And I'll be finishing this video today. I was so glad talk to you finally, see you finally, and please let's chat in the comments. It would be wonderful to hear from you. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe to my channel, leave a like, thumbs up, and see you soon.